All right, call to order. How are we on attendance? Good to go? Adjustments to the agenda. The RHR Smith auditor's report's been postponed. I guess we can go just right to the minutes, right? Okay, I would entertain a motion for approval of the last board meeting minutes. Who is that? I can't see who that is.
Jody.
Oh. Jody, and a second? Lena? Any discussion or corrections to the minutes? All right, if you approve the minutes, let's just see a show of hands. And keep your hands up for Laura. Good to go? Good to go. Nope. No need.
I didn't think it was. We can check, but I don't believe it is.
Okay. And communications and correspondence. I'd like to entertain a motion with regret to the retirement for Cynthia Crabtree, grade 1 teacher at Spruce Mountain Primary School, effective December 21st, 2024. Excuse me, December 31st, 2024. Do I have a motion? Holly, and a second? Don Strout. Any comments? All right, and again, with a vote for the affirmative, just a raise of hands of everybody with a vote of the affirmative. Okay. And I entertain a motion for the retirement notification from Kenneth Vining with regret, Facilities and Maintenance Director for Spruce Mountain School District, effective January 31st, 2025. Do I have a motion? Don Strout, and a second? Roger? Any discussion? Comments? Andrew?
Ken, I'd just like to say on behalf of the board, we really appreciate the work you've done. I've only seen it over the last 5 years, but I've been very impressed with the way you've kept the facilities maintained and taken care of, and I hope you find someone as good to fill your shoes. You've done a great job for us. Thank you.
Any other comments? Holly?
I just want to thank Ken for the good job that he has done, and everything has always looked very nice around the grounds and very professional, and we're going to miss you.
Absolutely.
And thank you very much for all the work you've done over the years.
And any other comments? Roger?
I just want to thank you as well, Ken. I think if everyone looks around the state, we see a few schools closing due to not being maintained properly, and thankfully we're not facing those issues. So thank you for a wonderful job. I understand needing to relieve some stress, and we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Outstanding. All right, for a vote in the affirmative, please raise your hand. Oh, yep.
Our policy, voting method, code on that is BEDF. Maine public officials are obliged to vote. Secret ballots are not to be used. Voting shall be done by roll call. I am all over this idea to not do a roll call on every vote. I think that makes all kinds of sense. We can get through this way faster, and it makes a lot of sense. But we need to do what it says in the policy. So if we want to change the policy, we should definitely do that. We can talk about that, and I think we should. But I don't think that we should change something to go against our policy and not operate in accordance with the state.
Okay. The board agrees. The chair agrees. I guess then we'll, if discussion is over, we'll go to a roll call.
Yes.
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 And there is no public comments. Board members, the students are up.
Okay. We had a successful homecoming week with the juniors taking the win. We had the classic dress-up week and then a float parade as well on the football field. To continue the homecoming week, we have a football game tomorrow. It's a home game and it's senior night. For the times and other sports events, you can get the SMHS Phoenix app.
Next, the National Honor Society is hosting a spaghetti dinner on October 25th. This is an event to raise money for the Tibbetts family who lost their daughter. We are taking money donations as well as stuff for the dinner like pasta or sauce supplies. If you can donate anything, please let us know. And also, the National Honor Society is also working on the clothing closet right now, so if you are getting rid of any clothes, please also let us know. That's all.
All right, thank you. Any other school board members' comments? Jody?
Unfortunately, TJ isn't here, but I do want to thank TJ, Mr. Keller, and all of the staff at the high school for putting Mr. McDaniel, I see, is in the audience here for a successful homecoming week. I know it takes a lot of work, a lot of patience probably to be with those kids throughout the week, and the pep rally is always a great way to bring all those kids and community together, and it was awesome. So thank you so much for doing that for our kids and our community.
All right, thank you, Jody. Any other board member comments? There being none, superintendent's report.
Good evening. I attended the Foster Tech Advisory Committee meeting. We meet every other month to discuss foster tech programming, budget, and possible future programming. Attended a meeting to discuss the start of Phase 1 of the Holland Strong tennis courts. Also attended the shovel ceremony for the tennis courts that took place yesterday. Hopefully Labby and Sons will be here next week to start tearing up that area so that we can be ready to put the courts in next year. I attended the Western Maine Education Collaborative Board meeting. We belong to this collaborative that does a great deal of work with curriculum and professional development sessions for us. I also attended the monthly Western Maine Superintendent's meeting. At this meeting, we discussed facility issues across the state, certification issues, and also federal money for special education. Any questions?
All right, any questions? And there being none, on to administrative reports. Ken?
Good evening. Very small report tonight. As everyone knows, I'm sure, this time of year, it's a very, very busy year for us. I know every time I come here, I start whining and crying in the beginning about being short of help, and we still are. We still have several people out with fairly serious injuries and things, illnesses. I'm hoping that one comes back on the 28th. If the doctor gives him the okay, the person that had the heart operation should be all good. I'm praying for that. The other two, well, we may be a while still to get them back. We're very busy, as Norma will explain later on, I'm sure, with so many sporting trips and things, and I just never can say enough for the crew as far as some of these guys here just pick up the pace, and I realize it costs money, but to get the buildings clean and things, sometimes we have to do that because it just doesn't seem to be a line of people that want to come to work. So, I really do appreciate all the crew members here. We've had 2 leaks in this building on the new piping that we had. Thayer has been fantastic. They're coming up the next morning and repaired them. It's just some fittings that didn't go together well. Hopefully I'm hoping on the 28th, that's kind of my what thought is that the vaporizers out in these propane tanks outside will be installed. But there again, I kind of give up on a lot of things because every time I have something lined up, it always seems like the part doesn't come or the people don't show up. But I really look forward to that. Also, the new generator, if you look outside, you'll see a brand new generator. The only thing we have to do with that now is for the startup. I have contacted them. I'm hoping that next Monday they'll come and do that startup on that just to make sure everything's running fine, and we should be good to go for, I hope, many years. And I guess with ending with that, I'm just going to give one quote from Robert Brault. It kind of fits me, and what I think about sometimes is take the time to enjoy the little things, for one day you may look back and realize they were the big things.
Good one. Thank you, Ken. And Norma. Oh, was there any questions for Ken? Thank you, Norma.
Hello. This short night, I don't have much to say. A new bus should be getting delivered soon. It is left the factory on October 8th. It's a Type C Bluebird gasoline wheelchair bus with slide-out seats to accommodate 10 chairs if needed. With all seats in, we will be able to accommodate 66 passengers. Special transportation needs are picking up between special transportation and McKinney-Vento students' needs, which a lot of people don't know that this is a federal law. So we have to do what we can and make as much effort as we can to provide them with transportation, at least 50% of it. Obviously, between vehicles and staff, that's something we battle with every day. But the phone calls come in, if not once a day, it's on a weekly basis. You'd be amazed. This is just something that we want to look at when we get to talking about funding. I've been looking, and so have I. We have a training the end of this month, a regional meeting with all the McKinney-Vento liaisons in Maine, and hopefully we can brainstorm some programs. I actually reached out to a friend of mine that owns a bus company and today to see if there's something that he'd be interested in providing some transportation for this needed federally funded. I mean, well, it's not federally funded, I'm sorry, outspoke there. They give us some money, not a whole lot. The money goes rather quickly. So that's the special needs transportation students are filing in too. Some of them have IEPs that request special transportation. Some of those students that request special transportation, our special transportation buses only hold 27, 28 students because we have to leave room for some wheelchair students. Right now we only have 2 special transportation buses. One covers Livermore Falls. Luckily, we don't have anybody down in South Livermore as of right now that needs special transportation. It's mostly in town, and I split that between Jay and Livermore Falls, but we already picked up 3 more students that need special transportation starting Tuesday. So, that being said, I just want you guys to be aware of that when it comes to fuel costs, vans. I have 6 vans on the road right now. Actually, next week I'm stealing the adult ed van because one of our vans needs transmission work done on it. Then I have one 30-hour bus driver out on medical. He actually went, oh no, wrong person, sorry. One bus driver custodian out on medical and a van driver out on medical, and the van driver was admitted back to the hospital today. So I am filling in, driving wherever I can. My secretary is also driving vans. I've been driving school buses. buses. I've also been driving the after-school program bus. This week, we've had 14 trips between field trips, high school sports trips, middle school trips. We're getting it done thanks to this great transportation and facilities, the custodians, maintenance, everybody's been helping me out. Thanks to our great team in the transportation facilities department, we couldn't do it without them. And that's all I got for now.
Thank you. Any questions? Elaine?
I'd just like to make clear that we understand that IEP's special ed transportation is not a request, it's required.
Oh, sorry, requirement, yes. Right.
If you have special ed
No, no,
person, you could just request it, it is required.
right, and not all special ed students ride special transportation. It's stuff that's required for them to ride for different reasons. It could be anxiety, it could be all kinds of reasons why they have to ride special transportation, whether it be a bus or a van. So, I'm sorry, I misspoke, but, yeah.
Sure. Any other questions? Thank you, Norm.
Thank you.
Oops. Oh, Andrew.
I think, just to clarify, you said the new bus will be special ed, special pickup qualified?
It will be wheelchair accessible, so we could use it for both. So if, well, actually, the best thing about it is we have 9 chairs in the district right now. So if we have to evacuate for any reason, we're going to be able to do it with 1 bus. That's something that we haven't been able to do in the past. We've had to line up 3 buses to get the chairs out of the school in case of an emergency. And that's a big issue for me. I think they should be able to get out all at once. And these seats in this bus are removable, so they slide out so you can make room for 10 chairs all at once. That being said, if 10 years down the road we have no chairs in the district, we can use it as a regular school bus. So.
Thank you.
Very good. Any other questions? Thank you, Norma.
Thank you.
And Chris?
All right, just like Ken and Norma, well, just like Ken, I don't have a lot to say tonight, but she's not even listening.
She was.
So since the last time we've met, I've had a chance to meet with all the curriculum committees in the district as well as all the district committees at least once during that time. So we're starting to get that going and starting to get some information on what our goals are going to be for this year and starting to move forward on some of that stuff. Of course, tomorrow is a workshop day. The primary and the elementary school are going to be getting training on using the PowerSchool gradebook. And then the middle school is going to be trained on the STAR testing that they've taken up this year, which includes Freckle Math and Freckle English. So they're going to get some training on that, so they know how to use that. And then the high school is going to be meeting with curriculum teams and also looking at some of the panorama data that they have. And then also tomorrow, myself and Laura, I'm not quite sure what Laura's going to do there with me, but she wrote it into my notes that she's going to be there to help me. We're going to be training the bus driver custodians and the kitchen staff on how to use the new old Time Clock Plus program that we're going to be using to track hourly employees. And then, of course, for the last week or so, I've been working on the October enrollments. Of course, the state in October, you have to send all your enrollments in, as well as your economic status and your special ed student counts. And that's what they use to determine your funding for next year. So it's always important that we make sure we have no errors in that, because every time you have an error, it could be funds that you're not getting. So.
Very good, thank you. Any questions for Chris? Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
And Laura?
So, good evening. The food service department has been pretty busy since we started the school year. Field trips are well under the way, and I really wanted to thank Norma for her continuous communication in regard to field trips, because things are always changing there, so we really appreciate that collaboration that she's doing with everybody. The student meal participation rate was something I was kind of curious this last week. We had 2 days in the last 3 weeks that we did serve over, well, it was 998 student meals with the a la carte or staff in there. We was well over 1,000 lunches, and that's just lunches alone. So I was kind of curious as where we was on participation. So I looked at data that was from October 7th of 2019. At that point in time, our breakfast participation district-wide was 50%, and our lunch was 50% per enrollment. And when I looked at our data for that October 7th this year, our breakfast participation is at 59%, and our lunch is at 75%. So I really can't stress enough how hard everybody's working, even though our enrollment numbers are down since our data was, that we had in 2019. We're really doing a good job of making sure we're getting as many of the students fed as possible. I was very fortunate to be selected and was able to attend a training that was hosted by AmTab and Next Generation. It was a symposium that brought together industry leaders, and there was 29 directors from the United States and 2 from Canada, and some of the directors had as many as 50 buildings. Some of them had, one director had 83 buildings, and some of them were small, and I was like, dear God, I would not want their job, because 4 is enough. I hate to say, but it is enough. But it was really, really an amazing opportunity. It was 3 days that I spent there with travel time and stuff. And we had a great opportunity to collaborate with all of these other directors from all over the country. We shared success stories and brainstormed throughout and shared some of our challenges. It was very inspiring to work with so many individuals that have such a passion for the K-12 group and getting them fed. The focus of the symposium was working to improve the public's perception of the school lunch program and increase student engagement in the cafeteria. We was able to attend many sessions from industry leaders. One of them was AccuTemp, which is a equipment. They do steamers, they do some ovens, they do kettles and tilt kettles. It was a really informative session, and I was really pleased to say that during COVID and with our funding, we had actually purchased 2 or 4, because they were double, of the acupuncture products. So I was really happy to see them and see all that the potential is to do with these items. Another one of the presenters was Bolster, and this food service and equipment and supply. Again, really shared some really great information. Industry worker was, 25 years in sales, and she really pushed that when we're purchasing new equipment, when we're in the K-12 sector, that we really push those manufacturers to extend those warranties. If we ask for those extended warranties, they're going to give them to us. So, it's something that we're really not doing right now that I thought was really great information to get. So, we only work that equipment 170 days. Typically, that equipment is going to go into a restaurant. It's going to get, nowhere near the care and the treatment that it will get in the kitchen. Our kitchens are some of our safest food industry spaces that are around, and there's no reason that these vendors won't extend our warranties if we ask up front and have that part of our purchasing agreement. School Food Rocks was another one of the presenters there, and they're dedicated to revitalizing the K-12 school food service industry. They provide consulting services, recipe development, and help schools across the country to present and have healthier menus and choices and make it more appealing to our students, which is always what our goal is. Procurement and American Made was another presenter, and unfortunately due to the hurricane, this actual presenter wasn't there, but that we was able to discuss some of their products, and it was a Native American company that's done a lot with beefs, porks, different meats, chicken, and also sauces and soups, which was really good because, as our industry in the next couple of years, we have a lot more changes coming down the pike in the next 2 years for us. And then lastly, AmTab, we was able to tour their manufacturing plant, and they are a tables, equipment, stuff like that. So it was a really great opportunity to see that process from start to finish and really see what was out there and available. And it was a great opportunity, and I thank Scott for saying yes that I could go, and it was great, and there was absolutely no cost to us at all, so that was really the best part. And I would encourage each of you to look up This School Meals, and it's Marlon Gordon, and he is the CEO of Next Generation, who was the sponsor of this, and it's just him doing a little bit of marketing piece on his passion for helping us to change the public's perception of what school lunches really are and what's out there. And we do get a bad rap. We do. And we really do need to change that perception, not only for staff and ourselves, but for our students, and really continue to educate our other staff so that they know what is being made available for the students. Because for a lot of kids, this might be the only meal that they get. So our participation will continue to increase as I think we go through and towards the colder season, and as expenses continue to climb for the winter months. So other than that, that's what we've been up to.
Good. And what was that you wanted us to check out? This School Meals?
Yeah, they capitalized this, and it's one all run-in is This Is School Meals.
This is school. And who is it that's doing
His
that?
name is Marlon Gordon, and he is the CEO of Next Gen, and you can see that on YouTube. And it's about 2.5 minutes of your life, and it won't be bad at all.
Sure, thank you. Any questions for Laura? Holly?
I noticed at the Boothby Farm, it says that they participate in something to do with the school lunch program. Are we affiliated with that at all?
With the Boothby Farm?
Yeah, the apples?
No, we do get apples currently from Barry's Fruit Farm.
Oh, from Barry's Fruit Farm.
We do, and there was another orchard that I had gotten quotes from that, depending on how long Barry's is able to supply us. But we do buy a lot of local products, and people aren't aware of that.
No, that's good.
We try to, and as well as scratch cooking. A lot of people aren't aware of that, but we do in the high school. We make all of our own pizza doughs, and not only for the high school, but the high school supports the elementary school and sends all the doughs for them when they have pizza on their menu as well. So with that, we also do our dinner rolls, and if they're having breadsticks or anything like that, oftentimes those are a from scratch item. We do quite a bit of scratch cooking.
Very good.
Which is a lot of fun and really.
It's a lot of work. But it's a lot better for
It's awesome.
for everybody.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
Any other questions of Laura?
Thank you.
And Robin?
Good evening. Our culinary program started this month. We are looking to begin the to-go cafe the week of the 28th. Write that down. Our menus and ordering link will be posted on our Facebook page. We are in the process of interviews for our Certified Medical Assisting program. We initially started with an interest list of 64 people. Those who have completed the CASAS assessments and formally applied were extended an invitation to interview. 2 weeks ago, we held interviews, and we'll interview 8 more additional applicants on October 16th, and we'll begin classes in November. Scott and I received a brief update from the United Way regarding the CDS status of the AYS project. Right now, they're waiting on an environmental review. No action is needed from us at this time, but I'll continue to update you when updates become available. Yesterday, I attended the Economic Development Strategy Workshop held at UMF that was presented by the Maine DECD. This was a very thorough overview of the 10-year plan for the state of Maine, as well as goals specific for Franklin County. Strategy A is heavily focused on what was called growing your own talent, with a high priority of connecting education to local employers, and specifically looking at workforce training and apprenticeships in our region, which we as an organization do plan to expand. And it was just a really good opportunity to network and meet with local business owners and hear about their hardships and how we can perhaps alleviate some of that for them. And lastly, while I usually stand in front of you and I share some success stories and the initiatives that we're working on, I think it's critical that I address some of the major issues that we're seeing in our classrooms, some trends. We're seeing a significant increase in young students. When I last reported to the state the number of students that we're serving between the ages of 16 and 20, over a 6-month period, we had 36 students enrolled. For this year, in just 1 month, we're serving 46 students between the ages of 16 and 20. I do want to be abundantly clear that what I'm sharing with you is it's a complex issue. It's not a direct correlation to area high schools and dropout rates. There are many factors at play with this, but I do think it's worth acknowledging and at least starting some dialogue about the shifting needs of our students. When I started here 10 years ago, it was more 30 to 50-year-old age range, upskilling, more of that. But this is really like a critical need. Unhoused students, they're hungry, they do not have natural supports. So just the efforts with our instructors are sometimes not with instructing. And I just want to make the board aware of that those shifts are happening in our program. I plan to come to you next month with a full data report of exactly what we're seeing. So kind of looking at it through, statistical lens and also anecdotes. I'll say that the shift is not unique to us. We're actually seeing this upward tick across the state, but specifically in our community, it's a very high spike. That's it for me today.
All right, any questions for Robin? Thank you, Robin.
Yeah, thank you.
And Jenna.
Good evening. I wanted to say congratulations to Dawn and Holly, and welcome to Danielle. I know Chris isn't here tonight because it's not his night to be here, but I did want to share with you that our Spruce Mountain Middle School girls soccer team made it to playoffs. Nice. We were tied for first place, and as it has been in years past, we're very unlucky with coin flips. So we are actually the second seed. So next Friday, the 18th, we will be playing seed 7, 3:30 middle school soccer field. So just be aware that the girls have worked so hard and they are so proud. I was able to speak to Tina after an ed tech evaluation training we had on Wednesday, and I realized I probably didn't update you. I know a lot of you had heard about our project on getting the 504 and IEP icon so it's easy to access accommodations and that sort of thing. And I just wanted you all to be aware that we were able to work through that process. Everything is done. We've ironed out all the kinks and everything, and we've received a lot of positive feedback. And I think it's not I think, I know that there are other people in the district that are also creating icons and using them for wonderful things. So now we're more aware of who the McKinney-Vento students are, and we're going to start using it for food allergies and different things like that. So that was a good thing. We do have, our next project is we are trying to make a staff-wide Google Drive to make it easier for staff members to access documents that tend to get updated every school year and shared. They are shared, but for those of you that have Google Drives and have been around a long time, it can be really hard to find the most recent copy of anything, right? So one of the other cool things, I know, people talk about communication. So each, administrator and other select people in district will be in charge of different folders and make sure those documents are updated every year. And that way, if people do move, our stuff doesn't go with them. We continue to have access and we don't waste time on coming up with those new things. So we're hoping to roll that out in the next few weeks. And it is, a lot of people are involved in it, so that's pretty cool. I do want to clarify, though, that each individual building does have their own hubs, right? So they do have certain things like schedules and protocols and those sorts of things that they have access to, which is fantastic. But we do have certain lockdown procedures, fire drill procedures, emergency procedures district-wide. We have directories. We need to know where staff are located, referral forms. So that will help make the referral process faster for some people. So that's where we're at with that. And now we're going to look at the 504 numbers. So from last month, we have an increase of approximately 4 students from 82 to 86. I might be off a number or so there. So last month for the high school, we had 38 active 504 plans with 2 referrals. This month, we have 39 with 2 in referral. At the middle school, we had 20 with active 504 plans with 1 referral. And now we have 22 active 504 plans. At the elementary school, we had 19 active 504 plans last month with 3 referrals. And this month we have 22 active 504 plans with 2 fresh referrals. And at the primary school, we actually went down because we've had some students move. And sometimes when you see numbers go down, it's because they transition from a 504 to an IEP. A 504 just provides accommodations, and sometimes we want to try that first before we realize specially designed instruction and accommodations are needed. So last month we had 5, this month we have 3, but it's going to even out because we have 2 in referral mode right now.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Jenna? Thank you, Jenna.
Thanks.
All right, there is no school board chair report. I'd just like to take a moment to just say that I was able to go to the pep rally, and I just want to say how impressed I was with the amount of cheering and camaraderie and the fun that the students were having. It did my heart good. I really loved seeing that. I loved seeing the skits. They were awesome. And the bonfire with the cornhole. I was jealous. I was wishing I had that when I was growing up at J High School. So it was really, really good stuff. And then the game was a blast. Everybody seemed to enjoy it. And I was just want to say how proud I am of the students and the staff and the teachers. Just fantastic job. So if you get a chance next year, go to the pep rally. It's a good time. Awesome. All right. Any committee reports? No committee reports. And so we've got, say again. She's talking again. We've got the first reading of the policy. Do I just go for a motion to approve them, or do I need to? I'd entertain a motion to approve the first reading of the policies. Do we have to do them individually? Does anybody have any objections to just approving them all? Any objections? All right, so could I get a motion to approve the first reading of the policies? Awesome, thank you. Could I get a second? Don Stroud. All right, any discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
All right, and the motion carries. And any unfinished business? Seeing none, do we have any new business? Seeing none, you have your co-curricular appointments, and no school tomorrow, teacher worship day, workshop day. All right, celebrating early. No school on Monday. Can we get an applaud for that? Woo-hoo. Late start Wednesday, October 16th, and the next school board meeting is October 24th at the high school with a building tour. Outstanding. All right, and is there any other business? Okay, yeah, just. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Tina, seconded by Elaine. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 I usually do.
Yes.